Hey, what's up? Thomas Alex Norman here again, and we are in London this time.
Settle the bets from your change. Unbuckle the belt, it's your pain.
You're just rushing. You need to be present, breathe deeply.
Oh, trust me,
Be-
I'm present.
I've just come back from America, which was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, Thomas Alex Norman, tell me about your Laguna Beach experience.
The waves were like really freezing, really cold. I've got sand everywhere.
Thank you for Daniel for having me out there. Elite Planner on Instagram, go check him out. Basically, today I have a really exciting video for you guys based on the comment by Fernando Chen. And Fernando said, great tips. You can always put various kinds of shot in one video and they just fit in marvelous. It would be great if you can show us some tips on how to choose different types of shots in a video. So basically, I think what Fernando's saying is, within my videos, it's almost like a montage a lot of the time. There's sometimes or often not a specific narrative sequence. Sometimes it's just kind of various shots that don't really seem to make sense with each other, but they still kind of work. So I'm going to be explaining exactly how you can do that within your travel videos today, because that is the nature of travel videos. The nature of travel videos is you're going on holiday or wherever you are traveling and you're getting shots of so much different stuff, and then you think, how the hell am I going to edit this all together? Or even worse, before you're traveling, how am I going to plan for the edit to make this actually look good when I know there's going to be so much different stuff happening? Before we get into this video, which I'm actually very excited about, I'm going to address some comments recently that have been about my voice and my accent. Somebody said I say the word layers like Mary Berry. Someone says this guy's a G, that accent will get you any girl, bro. And someone says I sound like Thor. So for your entertainment today, I'm gonna say some Thor quotes. You are an old man and a fool. Your ancestors called it magic, but you call it science. I come from a land where they are one and the same. Another! Okay, so the first tip with getting a really nice video out of seemingly random shots is to keep something inside the video consistent, something inside each shot consistent. So if we think of an example, I was on the beach in Barcelona recently and we were filming with my friend, and what I was doing is keeping something within the shots consistent throughout. So we went to the beach and we were filming a smoothie. Then we went from the smoothie and we started filming the beach because we had the beach in the background of the smoothie. Then in the beach we had a landmark, so we started filming the landmark from the background of that shot, and then we were filming from the landmark to the sand. So everything within each shot, there was kind of two elements that linked to each other, and then the second element in the shot linked to another element in the next shot. So we were kind of bridging the shots together with something consistent within the shots. So that can work when you are somewhere in particular, so when you're on the beach and you are literally doing a scene on the beach. But what if you have a heap of different shots that are from different countries around the world and they are just completely not in the same scene? Well, if you're doing this brings us on to tip number 2, which is using motion and movement either within the camera movement or within the movement within the frame, and keeping that movement consistent throughout the video. So, for example, there could be a shot of the camera panning from left to right in one scene, and then that scene was in Thailand. And then the next scene is in South Africa, and then you're panning still like this. And so they're completely different scenes, but if you have the same camera motion within one shot leading to another shot, it can just add that layer of consistency to your footage that just keeps the video going. Rather than thinking that, oh, something has just kind of gone wrong. You know, I have that feeling with some videos, especially more amateur ones, where you'll see a shot that just doesn't work and it's kind of jarring and you're like, what's this? It doesn't make sense. What's going on? Or you're just thinking, this just doesn't look right. Something about this doesn't look right. A lot of that is movement happening at the wrong time in the wrong place. So if you keep the movement consistent throughout 2 shots, it can start looking very good. Another example is movement within the camera. So if you have somebody walking forwards, if you're going from behind somebody and they're walking forwards, then you carry on with that movement with somebody walking, but maybe you're filming their feet and they're in a completely different place. So you have one shot of somebody walking down the street from behind them, then the next shot you have a shot of somebody's feet. It could be a different person, different place, but as long as they're putting the same foot after the other foot when they're walking, then you can get that consistency in the actual movement of what's happening within the frame, not just the movement of the camera, and not the angle of the camera either. You can be very low with the foot shot and very high angle with the walking shot. They can still add that consistency even if you're in a different place with some different shoes or something like that.
Are you feeling lonely yet? To be so stuck in your way.
So the third point is the colors and keeping them consistent throughout your video. This is really important when you're filming in different scenes like we were talking about earlier, but it's also really important when you are filming with different cameras. So for example, you've got a GoPro, you've got a DSLR, you've got an iPhone, maybe even a drone, and making all that footage look consistent. It's having a consistent color correction throughout. This is important on the level of matching different shots together, so you don't want to cut from a very blue scene to a very orange scene. You usually want to balance them out a bit, unless the scene literally is a blue scene, like you're in water, that's absolutely fine. I'm talking about white balance here and making the scenes match each other more effectively. And the other part is making sure the contrast looks similar as well. Typically GoPro can be very contrasty, and DSLR footage can be quite flat. So you actually want to generally reduce the contrast in GoPro stuff and boost the contrast in your DSLR footage. Saying that, there's so many different picture profiles, or you can film in ProTune on GoPros, blah, blah, blah. You basically just want to make sure that the contrast and the colors look roughly the same, and the brightness, the exposure throughout your video, whichever scene you're in. And that is especially important and especially highlights why you should also and always film on manual exposure. Never shoot on auto exposure. You're going to get horribly over and underexposed shots, which is going to make it super hard to match anything in your video. Oh, hey. The fourth and final point is the quality of your shots. We're basically talking about here, if you go out and you have a load of shaky footage that is exposed horribly, that is not framed very well at all, and that is in completely different situations, it's going to be super hard to actually cut these together and make them look consistent and make a consistent, coherent video out of it. However, from your travels, if you have already thought about your edit before you go out, and if you are filming and getting high quality shots, and I always use this analogy, getting high quality bricks to build your wall with, your wall or your video is going to look so much better. So this is really important to get these high quality shots in matching your footage up and making it look consistent, and obviously just making awesome videos. All right guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. And one thing I'm going to leave you with is to encourage you to go and grab my gear list. This is a PDF document of all of my gear that's really going to help you out. And once you get that, you're also going to be sent tips straight into your inbox on things like getting steady shots, things like when to shoot, how to shoot, my editing process. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So go ahead and grab that gear list, and then you will get all of those tips as well. All right guys, have a good one. Until next time, keep filming. Bye-bye.
Another!